Good morning, folks. This is attempt number dos, 2 at our live Q&A sessions. The first one was buffering, and I actually think I found out why. I had failed to stop the HD upload of our daily financial news. So I think those 2 videos were competing for bandwidth. So hopefully the buffering has stopped. Hopefully we can get through the next 50 minutes or so without any issues. So first and foremost, this live Q&A is meant for you. It's meant to answer any and all of your questions. I do have a list of questions I've collected throughout the week. I will go through those first. But if you go ahead and leave your questions in comments or whatever these are called, these little thought bubbles, I will do my best to get through them. If it's anything like the past weekends, we'll do about 50 minutes and we will answer every question. If you have the time, there is a playlist on this channel where you can go back and look at probably 20 hours of questions and answers. So, realize that that is there for you. This channel is not one that's going to create content for the YouTube algorithm. It's really created to help you. It also helps me understand what's going on. So it's really meant for both of us. So at the end of the day, if you want to help me grow the channel, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up early. Graham Stephan obviously says the earlier you hit it, the better this video does. I apologize again for having to attempt this again, right? Shutting down that first one. I will delete that video. I think I've already deleted it. But now we'll go ahead and get started. First question of the day is, what book should you read first? Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or One Rental at a Time? And, for me, it's you've got to read Rich Dad, Poor Dad first. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, to me, was the book that changed my mindset. It was the book that allowed me to see what is possible. And also, it really allowed me to see if I wanted to do this. So I think that book you read first. I don't think you read my book first. If you haven't read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and you were looking at both, I think you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad first. One Rental at a Time was written kind of like, okay, I've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, now what? Because if you do read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it is a mental shift, but it doesn't tell you how, right? So One Rental at a Time is not necessarily how, but it is a full description of our 15-year journey from a single house to financial freedom. It is the story of a rising bubble, a housing depression, and the return. It is a story of bank lending to bank saying no, to the creation of private money using hard money. It's all in there. Plus, it's about a market we never lived in, right? A lot of people talk about investing out of state or out of area. That's exactly what we did, right? So it's all in there. Again, it's not necessarily a how-to book, but it is our story of hope, belief. That's why why I wrote it, is to help you believe it is possible. Full-time employees, yes, you can, one rental at a time, set up a better financial future. That's what the book is. And just because I've talked about it, the how-to, right? How did we do it? How can you do it? That's my course. Didn't know I was going to create a course, but so many people asked that we created a course, or I created a course that allows you to understand how we learned a market we never lived in, how we understood what a good or bad or great deal is. And again, it's repeatable. My course only asks for 10 to 20 minutes a day. I know you're busy. I was busy. So again, Rich Dad, Poor Dad first, mindset. One rental at a time creates belief and hope. And then if you want to go learn exactly what we did, you buy the course. It's $200. You also get access to a Facebook group. And at 9 o'clock, I'm going to do a live stream with just my students. So I give extra time just to my students. So realize that's there. So that's question number 1. Again, keep listing your questions. I will be able to go back and catch up. And I'll start at the very beginning and go through. So next question, how to get ready for 2021? Many of you have been watching some of my videos, and I'm starting to sense and see that 2021 is going to be a pretty good year. Q4 is going to be rough. Q1 is going to be rough, but Q2 through Q3 should actually be pretty good years, or pretty good quarters, excuse me. And I think that includes single family homes. I think what we are going to see is interest rates stay low. I think we are going to see the consumer and the move up buyer. That's really what's been missing in my opinion. Like, where's the inventory? Where's the inventory? Some people on YouTube are talking about foreclosures and forbearance. Not there, not going to be enough to move the needle. But I think it's the move up buyer, right? Think about the move up buyer. They bought 10 years ago. They've had 10 years of income growth, mortgage pay down, appreciation. They were going to move to the bigger house, the nicer part of town. What has happened this year? People just froze. It's like, hey, I don't want people touching my stuff, and I don't know about my job, right? I'm going to stay put. We're going to paint the walls, put a swing set in the backyard, whatever it is. So I think that's what happened. I think we're going to see a big inventory jump right around April or May. That's what I would do. That's what I think is happening. Because again, I'm like you, right? I look every day. I've written 250 offers this year so far. I think I got one. So I believe me, I understand, right? I'm an investor. I do this channel, but I'm an investor. I'm trying to buy single family homes just like you. And it's been a rough year. There's just no inventory, right? You can't, and when there is inventory, all the owners just bid up to stupid prices. So I think that changes next year. I think inventory comes back in a big way, but I think you need to get ready for it. And if you want to be ready for it, the best thing I've seen, I mean, not to self-proclaim, but I guess I am, is you got to take my course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time. It tells you what to look at every day so that you can understand bad, good, great deals. And that's where you're going to get ready, right? If you start now and you spend 60 days or 90 days, you're going to be ready for 2021. Don't come to 2021 with a pile of money and go, oh, what do I do? You're gambling. That's not what I teach. It's one rental at a time. Learn your market, learn the skill, do only good and great deals. Next, what market do you recommend? I must get a version of this question 5 times a week. And the people that watch this channel will know I never answer it because I don't believe that's my place. I have not looked at, evaluated dozens of markets. I don't have a top 10 metrics. What I do is I have spent my time learning and now teaching how to learn a market. I believe every market has good or great deals. It just depends on what average is. If you're in San Francisco or maybe the Bay Area, average is 3% yield, right? Or cash on cash. But if you're in Fresno, it's 6. If you're in Ohio, it's 12. Whatever it is, I'm just making these numbers up. I am not here to tell you what markets to pick. What I am here is to teach you to learn any market or learn the skill of how to learn a market. That is what I can give you. That is what I'm focused on. I think it is disingenuous for somebody who hasn't looked at the entire US to pick markets. One sec, my dog's fussing. Gosh darn it. If you're first time on this channel, realize my buddy Jimbo here is 15 and a half, and he is not doing well, frankly. We think he has dementia, which means I get to suffer in the mornings when he just goes wild, and he's going wild now. So I will try to keep him calm so you don't hear him whining in the microphone. I apologize. So again, back to picking a market. I won't ever do that. I don't know any other markets. I only know one. And I think if I were to read things and do all of that and tell you about another market, it is not good. So I'm not going to recommend markets. It's just not going to happen. People keep trying. They keep trying to ask me different ways. Yeah, it's just not going to happen. All right, next. Should I manage my own stuff? That's an interesting question. So first and foremost, realize we've never managed our own stuff. Part of the reason is because we didn't have time, right? We chose a market 2.5 hours away. We didn't know anyone. We didn't have a network. It just was a non-option for us. So we've had property managers since day one. Just realize that that's my story. But, I think about it a lot, right? If we had lived in our market, like if we would have picked a house in the Bay Area that's in, within 20 minutes, I suspect, in all honesty, we would have given it a shot. I think we would have tried to manage it ourselves. I suspect, knowing who we are as people, we would have given that up probably in 6 or 12 months, because that's not what we want to do. We worked our 9 to 5, right, our 40-hour job. We were raising our daughter. We were trying to stay healthy by going to the gym and all that stuff that life is. I don't think we wanted another job. So for us, knowing our personality, self-management was not an option. That said, lots of subscribers to this channel, lots of people in my course, they self-manage and they enjoy it. I don't. I have a very stressful job. The last thing I want to do is deal with, clogged toilets or, whatever it is. So I think it's a decision for you, the individual. If it's around you, self-management might make sense. You might learn something. It might be good. You might build a bigger network because you'll get to know the handymen and painters and electricians and all of that. But you got to decide, right? What do you want to do? How much time do you have? Property management takes time. And if you're following one rental at a time or taking my course, it's doing well because it's 10 or 20 minutes. If you're going to be a property manager also, that's just more time. And I didn't want to give up the little time I had left. So I don't know if I really answered the question, but that's the answer. Here's another one. Should I sell my house that I currently live in or rent it out because this person's moving out of state? I'm just going to use examples. They live in Florida. They're moving to Texas. They've owned a home or a condo or a townhouse or whatever it is. And they're like, hey, should I turn it into a rental or should I sell it and move or sell it and then, start in Texas? It's kind of the same answer, folks. I don't pick markets. So the first thing I would tell you is to look at the market you're in Florida or Orlando or Miami or wherever it is, Fort Lauderdale. And what's the market? What is going to be the average return? Are you going to get a better than average return because you bought it at a price point that makes sense? The mortgage fixed, right? Does it make sense to hold? Or, there's no equity there, or there's no cash flow, or it's an alligator. And if you don't know what that is, you got to get my book. It's just, I don't have enough details. I think some people think adding a rental or a door, as I like to say, is always good. And that's not true. I'm not here to count how many doors I have. That's irrelevant. I know plenty of people that have lots of doors that are nearly broke. So learn your market in Orlando. Is it good or great? And if it's not good or great, sell it. Start again in Texas. And that's, again, just an example. Don't just add a door to add a door. Make sure it's a great deal. Today, you can get a pretty good sale price selling to owner-occupant. I don't think that will always be true. So again, learn your market. If you need help, I can help you. I get this one a lot. When should I take your course? My answer there is when you're ready to work. If you're following the channel and you want to kind of say thank you and sign up for the $200 and you're not going to use it, don't bother. Keep watching the free stuff. I'm having a good time. Hopefully you're having a good time. But if you're ready to work and you want to give 10 or 20 minutes a day, it's probably the best thing for you, right? It's very efficient use of time. You're going to learn something. It'll be uncomfortable for a while, and then it will suddenly dawn on you. It's like, oh, I get it now. Another kind of version of that question is, hey, I'm getting my real estate license. Do I need your course? Yes. I mean, if you're going to be an investor, I earned my license. I didn't learn anything about markets. It's about paperwork and really covering your butt. Yeah, so only get it if you're ready to work. If you're on lockdown or you're not doing any travel plans in Q4, it's probably a pretty good time to learn so you can get ready for 2021. But if you're not ready, you don't want to, the $200 is expensive for you, don't bother. I give plenty stuff away for free on this channel. Just subscribe and keep watching. But if you're ready, sign up. Make sure you join my private Facebook group. The Facebook group is called One Rental at a Time Works. So the steps are: buy the course, ask to join One Rental at a Time Works. You get added to this great group of folks, and you'll get to access lots of content there. And we talk at 9 a.m. every Saturday. All right, so those are the questions I got. 6 questions. Now let's see if I can do this. I did this last weekend, so let's see. All messages. Okay. So let me scroll back to the top, folks. Can keep adding questions. I've got to the top. Afro Capitalist, welcome back. Thank you. Sorry about the little frustration with the buffering. That was turned out to be my error because I forgot to stop the HD upload. Okay. All right. I own my home 190 in Orlando. Could sell it for 305. Oh, move! Look at this. Moving to Texas. How about that? Um, purchase a new build for Austin. Should I sell my home? Again, same answer I gave earlier, or actually in my example. I don't know your market in Orlando. I don't know how much cash flow you have. To me, 190K debt, all these purchases doesn't mean anything to me. I want to know how much cash flow is there. What is your return on capital? I can't answer the questions with what you gave, but hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully my answer made sense. I don't know why these aren't staying. Okay. Jerry, are you looking into Airbnb after interview with Kyle? Just listen to your first one with him and need to look into for myself. My rental will be empty in April. Tenant moving. I'm not looking at Airbnb. No, I mean, we have the month-to-month rentals. That's enough for us. Yeah, I'm not going to add that to us. We've talked about it a couple of times, but no, I'm not going to add Airbnb. But that's why I do stuff on this channel, because Airbnb is a good answer. And for some people, they want to look at it. So that's why I interviewed Kyle. Hopefully that makes sense. Hey, Jeffrey, how are you? Yeah, absentee landlord. That's another good point. Ultimate bargains that I failed to mention on Afro Capitalist is, if you're living in Texas, are you comfortable being an absentee landlord? That is true. Why is this different today? Yep. Okay. Oh, okay. There we go. 3-point home. So, yeah. Yeah, some California. Damn those Californians. Yep. Jimbo is not doing great, and I think I got 2 hours sleep yesterday because he was up from 1 to 4 and then 5:30 till right now. It's very, very rough. Yep. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, Gil. Credit investor friend said if he had to start over, then he would do not self-manage, only use. Yeah. Again, if you're in this business for time, freedom, doing property management yourself to save 8, 9, 10%, you're consuming your scarce hours. It's not for me. Yeah, interest rates. Is it fixed rate? Good job, Roldan. Absolutely. Yeah, your taxes taxes in Texas. Say that a couple times. Is there? Yeah, how to sign up for my course? You can go to onerentalatatime.com. Go to any of my videos on YouTube. There's a link. Yeah, it's there. It's 100, $200, 199. Why isn't it coming up? Yeah, go to his website. Yes, there. However, a lot more expensive. Yep. Kevin, pay off the mortgage on existing cash flow positive property before buying. Oh, Kevin, I get this question all the time. Dave Ramsey kind of puts it out there. I believe investors go in phases. One sec. God darn it, puppy, come here. I don't know what to do with you. You're just not happy. So the question again, I think it was from Jeff. Was it Jeffrey? I want to get the name right. Kevin, sorry, Kevin. I believe you go through 3 phases as an investor. Phase 1 is you're building a foundation. You can think of this as ships perhaps in the ocean. And when the tide rises, all ships rise. So if you're in phase 1, which I assume you are if you only have one rental, your job is to add conservatively financed fixed rate debt on as many residential properties as you can. That's step one. Step two, as you start to get ready to exit the rat race, you have some choices, right? You can, like, let's say it's 10 years from now. 10 years from now, you will, have good equity in all the ships that rose. You have choices. You can keep them. You could refi some and pay off others, or you could sell a couple and pay off others. If you do the Dave Ramsey approach, what's going to happen is as you're working to pay off the first, prices are going to go up, and it will just be less efficient for you to get that second one. So that's my opinion. I firmly believe in owning free and clear rentals is an option for folks when they leave. I see it as reducing risk, especially in an environment like this. But I think it's a bad strategy when you are beginning, if that makes any sense. Okay, let's keep going. That was Kevin. Jerry, so no Airbnb, thanks for answering. How much month to month furnished? I don't have any properties furnished. I'm just a simple landlord month to month. Why is this doing this all the time? Cynthia, I'm still scared. I'm sorry. What are you scared of? Spiders? Real estate? I'm not sure. Yep, great point on self-management. Yep. Michael, what are about the new chapter you are adding to the course? Can you talk about it, which might help me make up my mind to buy the course? Oh, so what I'm adding to the course right now, I hope to have it up by the end of the year, is private money. One of the things that we wrote about is how private money helped us when banks turned off. So we're going to talk about how we did that. Something you've seen in our story is we've raised millions of dollars twice. Once in 2010 and 11, and once in 18 and 19. So I'm going to write how we did that. Just like we wrote in the book, just like we talked about learning our market, I am going to write about how we did that. And in addition to that, I am getting contributions from April Crosley. April is going to create a 30-minute video on what she does with private money. And then Jason Pritchard is going to talk about how he's raised millions of dollars, and he's going to go through his pitch deck, or whatever you want to call that. I think he has the best one I've seen. So I'm creating that now. It is like everything I do, it's going to be what we've done. It's to call it exhaustive is probably inaccurate, but it's going to be entirely what we've done and how we've done it. I'm getting contributions. I haven't decided yet whether or not I'm raising the price. I may just keep it at $199, but given what we're adding, we may raise it as well. So I haven't decided yet. But my goal is to get that done by January 1st of 2021. And the beauty of what I'm doing is if you buy the course now, you get the next section for free. I'm not going to charge everybody extra money. That's not who I am. If you buy it now, you will get the private money course, or not course, excuse me, private money section once it's uploaded. No charge. That's just how I roll. Okay, so that's next. Daryl, I didn't really get understanding of what is a bad, good, great deal. I analyze my market and determine what is average. Okay, okay, all right. So Daryl, this is what will happen, and we'll just use an example. Okay, let's say you're looking at your market and you figured out an average deal in, I'm just going to make up a market, Boston. Your average market in Boston is 7%. So that's average. So bad is anything that yields less than 7%. Right? If average is 7, anything from 6 below is bad. Okay? Good, you get to decide that. Is good simply 8% or is it 8.5%? Right? Did I say 7? I think I said 7. So is it 8 or 8.5? Great would be 8.5, 9, 9.5. It's really that simple. If you can find a deal that is good or great, which means it's better than average by a point or two, you are going to be doing some pretty amazing things. Yes, don't beat up your spreadsheet until it bleeds cash flow. Absolutely, that's just silly. Come on, Jimbo. Give me 20 more minutes. So does that make sense, Daryl? You know, this is another thing. You'll have to look at your market every day for probably at least 30 days, and it might be 45. But that's why you got to get started now so that you can be ready for 2021. So does that, if that doesn't make sense, Daryl, please leave another comment below and I will get to it. I own a property free and clear. Should I cash out, refinance now to get some capital, get ready to the next one? I mean, there's lots of questions, right? Is it the only one you own? What does it rent for? Is it your, is it your primary residence, right? If it was your primary, I probably wouldn't do that. I believe in having as little risk as possible in your primary. You know, what is your, I guess what I would tell you is learn your market, right? What is your market producing today? And if you start to find good and great deals, then yeah, take the capital, right? And you get capital today for under 4%. Realize a refi out, cash out refi mortgage is higher interest rate than purchase money loans. So realize that interest rate will be much more. So yeah, I think the answer is learn your market, figure out what a good or great deal is. And then if you can get a great deal that's earning 8% and it costs you 4% and it still cash flows, never, 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 never create an alligator by refining too much. I wrote about that in my book right there, One Rental at a Time. I hated writing that check every month on my first property because I took too much cash out. Yeah. Cynthia, making a big commitment to investing. Okay, now we're good. So Cynthia, what I would tell you to do, I get a question like this all the time. I'm nervous, I'm scared, or hey, I want to do it, but my significant other doesn't. Same answer. What you need to do is build confidence. Nothing builds confidence more than repetition. My course is all entitled in building confidence. What you need to do is look at your market, figure out what is a good or great deal, and then move forward. Because if you look at your market for 60 days and you can find that one or two opportunities that are better than anything else, you are going to be confident and you're not going to be scared. You should be scared. Spending tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars should be scary. You should be nervous. That takes us a long time to save. Good. But now do the work. If you take my course for $200, you're going to learn the process and what to look in your market for 10 to 20 minutes a day. And oh, by the way, once you're done, do something else. Yeah. Do something else. You don't keep, there we go. So that's what I would do. Let's see. So Cynthia, let me know if that makes sense. I didn't mean to get on my soapbox there, but hopefully that makes sense. The Jedi Bunny. I always like that name. Welcome back. I think you were here a couple weeks ago. Good morning. Thanks for the great content so far. Can you tell us about the most successful story from your course? Yeah, there was actually a video on my channel I think I did last week where I highlighted just 5 or 6 students that have already bought properties. So I would look at that video. Can I find it? I don't know what it is, but it's in the last week. It's called, I don't know, value from my course or online students. Also, there's a playlist on my channel called Student Reviews. Go look at that. I have hours of students talking about their successes. So don't take my word for it. Listen to the students. Don't take my word for it. So hopefully that makes sense, Jedi Bunny. I have a rental 2 hours from Seattle worth approximately $175. Congratulations. Cool, I'm sold. Want to learn how not so much cash. Yep, you got it. Just graduated nursing school, waiting for a job to join the course. We'll be able to. Awesome. We will see you there when you're ready. No rush. Where should I hold my cash savings for down payment if it is large amount? Read 100K. and will sit for 2 or 3 years. Well, again, I can only tell you what I'm doing. I have significantly more than that in cash, and I just have it in savings and money market accounts. I have it spread out over multiple banks, so I'm under the 250K limit. I don't overthink it. You never know when the deal of the decade is coming. You never know when the deal of the decade's coming. Yeah, so I don't get complicated. I don't ladder CDs. I don't do any of those things. Yeah, I don't. I don't try to squeeze out an extra 0.5% because you never know when I'm going to get one of those deals. Yep. Oh, good. I'm glad you didn't buy an alligator. That's not good. I switched over from Meet Kevin. Yeah, Meet Kevin is he is a YouTube entertainer, and he's a very well paid YouTube entertainer. That's not my goal. I don't have any interest in that. One sec. Come here. You are being very painful today. I apologize for that. I'm trying to do this and deal with him at the same time. Okay, let's see. Cynthia, you know the what's worse, fearing failure or regrets? Yep. Yeah. Again, Cynthia, remember being nervous, scared is totally okay, but you need to take action to fix that. And if you want action, take the course, learn every day. I promise you, 45 days, you will feel better about your market. And don't listen to me. Go to my playlist with all the other students and hear what they're doing. Yeah, don't believe me. Listen to them. Layla, Milwaukee, Oregon. We can help. Yep. Okay, cool. Students or subscribers helping subscribers. Cool, cool. Better. I'm in Vegas. Took Friday to finish the course. Cool. Today start spreadsheet. Ah, I got what you're doing. Yep. Just one zip code, one asset class, 3-2. Ah, this is very frustrating. Daryl, in the beginning, man, don't overthink it. Don't don't overthink it. Learn. I mean, if you really had 3 hours a day, maybe pick two, but make them separate spreadsheets. Don't confuse yourself, because what you'll find is one area does this and one area does that. Just don't overthink it. More time does not equal faster learning. I don't know about this analogy, right? You can't have 9 ladies can't have a baby in 1 month or whatever that analogy is. Don't rush it. You've got to do the work. Hopefully that makes sense. What are your thoughts on turnkeys? I think turnkeys provide a good answer. I should have bought them, as I think I talk about in my book, and I certainly talked about on this channel before. It would have been a better use of my capital. I believe investors evaluate turnkeys wrong. So let me be specific. Most of the time when people on this channel reach out to me on turnkeys, they say, hey, I found this house. I want to buy it. It's in this city from this turnkey provider. So basically you evaluate the house, then the market, then the provider. That is ass backwards. You need to evaluate the provider first, because trust me, a bad provider in a great market will rip you off. So evaluate the provider first, then the market. Do you want to be in that market? And then the deal. I have seen some horrific stories about turnkey providers taking advantage of people. So provider first, market second, deal third. Exactly the reverse of what most people do. Yeah. Meet Kevin's an entertainer. I mean, anyways, I don't need to go down that. I don't want to be. Yeah, we'll go there. If rates go negative, what will you do with your savings? I don't expect savings rates to go negative. They're already basically zero. And if they're zero, I don't care. I, I, I don't care. But if they go negative, then yeah, I'll do something. But I don't expect it to go negative. Yeah, Jimbo's he is not feeling good. It's rough. Again, if you didn't hear earlier, he's physically fine. We think his mind is going, and it's not fun to watch, and it's very stressful. Okay. Yeah, heartbreak for sure. It's coming. Oh, tell the people to like the video. Thank you. Oh, Jedi Bunny. See, I forget all these things. Analysis paralysis. Yep. Oh, there's no like button with live chat. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't think so. First off, I have Section 8 housing. I've talked about it many times. I grew up poor, so 35% of our units are Section 8. I think you have to decide if you want to be that landlord. I think Section 8 is wonderful. I think Section 8 is a wonderful program. So I'm a fan. I've done a couple of videos on it. It's really an individual choice. I think Section 8's great. How would somebody go about analyzing, evaluating a turnkey provider? Well, you got to go. I would go to bigger pockets. I would go to, I would go all over and find what other people are saying. Good turnkey providers have good references, and they're not even references that are paid for, right? They're out there. Good turnkey providers are okay. They don't hide. And the near as I can tell, Roof Stock is a company that kind of evaluates providers. So you can also go to Roofstock and see what they do there. But yeah, you've got to be very careful because anybody who's trying to sell you something, most of the time they have a motive and they are going to not always tell you the exact black and white truth. I can't get a mortgage right now. If I can find a good or great deal, should I pay cash 250K in my market and get 1K cash flow a month? And would you give me your thoughts on how to grow from two? So I don't know why you can't get a loan right now. If you have 250 grand, you could certainly get a private loan or hard money loan. I think what you're saying is you can't get a bank loan. Maybe you're employed or I don't know. I don't know why you couldn't get a loan. Maybe bad credit, maybe. But what you'll be able to do to get the second home is like if you were to buy a home, let's say you're going to burr a home. You're going to buy a home for 100 grand, spend 50 grand, and bingo bango, it's worth 200. Just simple numbers. What you can do is you can go back and refinance that later. And if you have bad credit today, you can't get a loan today. Maybe you can get a loan in a year. Again, I think quality stuff is get as much cheap debt as you can. Anything sub 5% is cheap debt. And again, watch lending. Lending changes all the time. Lending stopped essentially in February and March, but it's back on now. So I would check. I would want to know why you can't get a loan. Yeah, I'd have to know more about that. My dad had many Section 8 renters, all went down the toilet. Those Section 8 tenants were awful and destroyed the properties. It can happen. Just like cash paying tenants, there are bad people out there. So I think, I don't know, let's just say we have 200 tenants today. I would say 75 are Section 8. When I look at the thousands of tenants I've owned over the years, when I think of the thousands of tenants I've had in my rentals over the years that I've owned, I have 5 bad stories. 2 were Section 8, 3 were cash paying. So it happens everywhere. But again, for Section 8 tenants, landlords, you own some of that responsibility. I see it all the time. When you rent to Section 8, some of you think, oh, I get that government money. I'll take anybody who comes in. No, you need to qualify that tenant just like a cash tenant. I say no to more than 50% of my Section 8 applicants. I don't want a Section 8 tenant that has an eviction. I don't want a Section 8 tenant that destroyed their last property. I don't want those. Don't just say yes because they're Section 8. That's silly. And I see that all the time. You just purchased my course. Thank you, Cynthia. Now what you need to do is go ask to join a private Facebook group. It's called One Rental at a Time Works. That will get you also, and that doesn't cost you anything. So welcome to the course, and go ahead and get added to that Facebook group. I have one Section 8. I love it. Check in the bank. Oh yeah, Section 8 is great. As far as, I mean, yeah, it's awesome. Oh, you don't have a job. Man, but you got some cash put away. Do you never want a job? Do you think you can't get a job? I think you'll get a job and you can get a loan. So I would buy the first one and then get ready to refi it. That's probably what I would do. I think that's thin. I would buy it free and clear, and then sometime in the future you'll have a job. Once you have a job, then I'd go refi it. You could do that. Pace Morby, I like him. Pace Morby's been in on this channel twice. We actually do lots of actual sub 2 deal breakdown, so you can see that there. All right, you're getting to be a pain, Jimbo. Yes, you have to screen Section 8 tenants. Yep. Cool. Yep. Oh, okay. Well, you'll get a job soon. Don't worry about it. You'll get a job soon. So yeah, buy the house, get a job, refi it, buy again. That's how you get your second one. You're good. Yeah, it could be definitely a bad use of capital, but I don't know the full story. Yeah. All right, folks, I'm going to call this one. I got to get Jimbo some attention. And again, if you're one of my students, I should be on the Facebook group in 13 minutes. I should be there in 13 minutes. All right, everybody, take care of yourself. Bye.